Hey guys, it's Craig at Area 419, introducing you to something new in our product portfolio. It's the Area 419 Match Scope Rings. Check them out. Guys, as we got into making scope rings, we understood the core function of what a scope ring really needed to do. It needs to hold your optic on your rifle in a way that is very true and with a lot of gripping force. And that was the core design consideration set for the Area 419 Match scope rings. When we set out to make these, we realized that most scope rings on the market are made in 4 disparate parts that are then assembled. And while this has a lot of upside and it's easy to manufacture and you can still make a pretty good part, at the end of the day, you are hoping that all of your tolerance stack across different parts and across different batches really comes together nicely. As much as we've invested in making sure that all of our parts can be really, really consistent, we knew that we could go one step further in these rings being matched together and delivered to you in a way that is the most well-oriented possible. When we're making these, we're making our bases and our caps separately, like everyone else does. We then send them out to anodize, bring them back, and that last step before we send them to assembly is we're fully assembling these in a machine, boring them together in line, and then bringing them off in sets, serializing them, and then shipping out to you so that you can know that the 4 parts you have here, your 2 bases and your 2 caps, were matched to one another in a final process, and that they are truly perfectly bored straight together. This eliminates substantial need for any sort of lapping. It gives us greater gripping force as we're getting the entire ring onto the optic. It also allows us to leave the inside of the scope ring in bright white aluminum. We can get a better surface finish this way, as well as a grabbier surface finish, as this raw aluminum will grab with a little bit more stickiness than your anodized internals that you might find on other rings. We've got pins that guide your cap on and off, so as you remove these and replace them, you can get a really good, repeatable square purchase. We are manufacturing all of our own screws for this, meaning that our cross pins are held to a very tight tolerance, exactly the size we want them to be, to give you both the versatility of these being your clamping screws, as well as being the lugs and the Picatinny. We think this is the finest way that we can manufacture a scope ring to hold an optic on your rifle in a very true, very consistent, very forceful way. We've also added to the sides of these an attachment point that we will make available in open source. So if you are a manufacturer of parts and accessories that go on rifles and you want to make something that attaches to these rings, shoot us an email, info@area419.com, and we can get together a tech pack for you and get it out to you. We will immediately have available, when these are ready to ship, are just a Picatinny section that can go on the side for mounting items. I know that Hawk Hill is going to do their data board, and I expect there to be other products following fairly closely. Immediate availability is going to be 34 millimeter medium height. We'll expand that into high and low heights in 34 and 30. You'll also see some options in 35 millimeter, 36 millimeter, maybe even 1 inch. Kind of see where the market takes us on that. But they're available for order now, with the first batch of these, the 34 mediums, being available at the end of this year, so maybe week after Christmas, first week of the year. We think the extra steps we took to make these exactly right and give you an optic mount that really grabs that optic, holds it onto the rifle, and is made in an absolutely true manner, we think it's worthwhile. We think when you get them in your hand, you'll agree. Go ahead and get your order in, guys. Until next time.